Okay, for problem 1.10, we have a medium difficulty level. Parts origin, location is indicated. Should be getting pretty used to uh, analyzing or recognizing where the origin is. We're going to start emphasizing more the orientation on the isometric view. So we'll come back to that here in a second. Part is symmetric. So when they say symmetric, it would be symmetric about the vertical axis, or we would say the right plane. All sketches fully defined, lines, rectangles, circles, the extruded boss. 25 millimeter hole is centered on the part and cuts all the way through. The 22 millimeter hole centered on the 36 millimeter wide flange and cuts through the part. Both flanges and the base are the same thickness. All right, so 10 there, 10 there. We have our geometry, so we have a couple of options. We could potentially mirror this. We could draw it all straight out. I think we will end up using contours and regions again just to pretty much sketch all of this front plane and be able to create that geometry. Now there's no origin in the isometric view, but this one's on the back and this one's on the lower front. So we're going to assume this point at the lower vertex of the our angles. All right, so based on the position, um, it's kind of strange, but I'm going to say this is the top plane. The front plane is kind of going this way, or would be going through the center of the circle. So like the front plane along this extension line for the 45, and the right plane would be the vertical. All right, so that's only real critical, or is going to be a concern when the CSWA question is asking for a center of mass, because by default it's going to go to the origin unless we create a second coordinate system and activate it. It's better just to draw it in as close as we can get it to that geometry. So let's open up on the top plane. All right, so I'm just going to go with the shortcuts. Left click on the top plane and then edit or create a new sketch. And for the um, mirror or anything that I'm going to do symmetry with, I do like to always start with the center line. I am pretty consistent about a vertical infinite length, and the only reason infinite length is because I will not run out of center line. So I'm looking for that little snap, the little yellow box, and we place it on the origin. I can hit escape. And the other one that we did this with, this stayed in blue. If it's in blue, just left click on it, drag it, let it go, and it will typically solve itself. All right, just kind of update and make sure that it's um, finishing or figured out the geometry. All right, so we have 35-degree included angle. So I don't really want to worry too much about those. We'll generate enough of the geometry. Looking at this, going to assume that we have perpendicular. So bringing that over till it snaps and we see the perpendicular. Um, Option-wise, we could draw the arc or halfway and then include it in the mirror, or drag it all the way and connect it after we mirror those two lines. So let's just go ahead and include it in the mirror. I'm going to do the continuous arc. So I stay in the line command. I just go right back to that endpoint and bring it up till it connects. All right, so I can escape out of the line command, and this is able to move. And as I'm left click, hold down, drag, I'm going to bring it back to that center line and place it. All right, so my left to right picks everything inside the window. And that is kind of handy if there's more than one center line. In this case, right to left will grab and include the center line, and mirroring the entities will give an immediate result. Even if we went in the mirror entities and I had the first instance where I had window picked, they would show up in the entities to mirror. I would switch to mirror about, pick the center line, and it would have the same result. Okay, so let's start putting some dimensions in before I worry about the other two, the other region. In fact, looking at it and the overlap, I don't know that the region's going to really help me that much. So, other than having the line as a reference, now we'll add the two flanges, the two legs after. All right, so smart dimension. Whenever we're doing angles, we're going to be looking for two non-perpendicular lines, objects. All right, so 150, 29, 209. All right, so what they're not telling us is we have a 35-degree included angle, so that is going to amount to 180 minus 35, so 145 degrees. If we needed to, and we'll add this in just as a check, I do trust my math though, I think, is I can do that same center line. So line, center line, infinite length. All right, so it didn't fully define there. So if I drag it or try to drag it, it kicks it off, and we can put in a driven dimension that gives us the 17.5 degrees. I can leave it driving. 35 degrees though. Yeah, that's I know that that's out of the drawing, but I don't. Well, we can go 35 that way. 35. I don't know. Can't. I know the intent. And did I do that? Do that right? 35 degrees? No, I did that wrong. All right, so let's see if I can make that one driven. And we'll just verify the results. There's the 35 degrees. So I was thinking in terms of that one. All of my angles add up. So yeah, because that's perpendicular, that makes sense. But better to verify, just making sure that I'm seeing it correctly. So let's go to the 45, and guess what? I am in inch, pounds, and seconds. All right, so if you've made it this far and you have correctly gone into millimeters, grams, and seconds, then let's go ahead, and we haven't put any real dimensions on this. So let me undo, and I'm going to go with changing it over because there's no, the angles shouldn't, the angles or units are degrees, so shouldn't be too much going on there. I don't know if that 2-inch 900 locked in the scale, but let's go ahead and see if I can edit the sketch. So the sooner you recognize, the better. So that should put me in. So 74. 74 is not terrible, and it's scaled reasonably well. All right, so our radius up here is 20. And if it kicks a dimension out, we'll just kind of reposition, especially once it starts sizing everything. All right, and that's not looking too bad, so let's go ahead and we'll include the through hole. And it said that that one is the 25. And then let's go ahead and extrude 10 millimeters. So 10 millimeters up, It's going in the right direction, and hit OK. All right, so I got lucky that I recognized the inch, pounds, and seconds right then. If not, hopefully within the first couple of dimensions, there's not too many dimensions in that sketch, but it would have it wouldn't have been too bad to correct this geometry by changing the units and then just going dimension by dimension and updating the values. Probably would have shrunk or done something strange in the meantime, but we have some different strategies that we can go through if we need to. So let's open up the sketch. Been more of a kind of paying attention to the origin, and since this is on the back, it put it upside down. Origin is normal to that face, so it is kind of strange that it went that way. But I'm going to give it the oh well. let's keep moving with it. And under our rectangles, then we have a 3-point corner rectangle. So I could draw this with lines; it'd be perfectly okay. The 3-point rectangle, though, we're going to watch out for that midpoint. I can drag off, and just like we did with which one did I do it them? In one of the previous videos, the 3-point arc. You have the dot 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 lines. Those dot 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 lines mean that it's asking for something else, and when you grab that line and drag it out, that's going to give you the result. So we're going to go, and there I got the midpoint, so I'm just going to hit escape once. It's going to leave me in the smart dimension. We'll try again, and I'm going to make sure that I get that linear distance. Okay, and then the leg is 10. All right, and the overall, they gave us a radius of 18, so I need to make one of these 36. Okay, so why am I still in blue? The line probably went coincident, but this end is going to rotate across that edge. So while I can see it, the edge that I selected, or the object that I selected, is still highlighted in orange, so I don't need to reselect. I can hold down the control button, select that line, and we'll just go, oh, I guess it kicked it off after all. Okay, now I've got too much lines, points. Oh, yeah, the point, that makes sense. The point was there. If we went line and point, let's see what coincident does. All right, so that's one solution. Point to point's not going to work real well on this one, so we'll bypass that and select the edge, control select the line, and there is the collinear. So either collinear or the point coincident with that edge is fine. All right, we can mirror or we could redraw. So let's go with the center line because I think the mirror will be the safest. Then we place that infinite length center line. And one of the reasons I hit escape is that we would have to hit that OK a couple of times. So let's go right to left, selects everything, mirror entities. All right, so if the right to left selection isn't working for you, then let's just go straight into the mirror entities. We'll grab those. And to be on the safe side, I probably should have gone left to right, so it only included the box, but I didn't have other geometry to worry about anyway. So we can mirror about and get those in place. All right, the center of our arc then is 32 off of the back. So Control 7 on the keyboard or hit the space bar and go with the isometric or the isometric. All right, so usually I don't leave the view selector, the box. I don't do the box, but let's go ahead and extrude those out. And it's going to go that way. We need to reverse it. And the center was 32. So that puts those in play. and then we need to create our next geometry. So we're going to end up doing this twice. I'm going to hesitate to do mirror features at this point. I don't know that it is going to help us that much. So I'm just going to pick up the existing line. And if we go with the tangent arc can come off of the endpoint. And while I'm here, I'm going to drop in the circle so I can get this in one sketch. And then we're going to do the extrude as a contour and region. So that one is 22. All right, so even if I accepted it, so no big deal. The sketch 3 is already highlighted. We'll go ahead and extrude. And the contour and region, well, I don't really want to include that. So usually like to clear the selections, and then I'll just pick the 2 regions. And my end condition, wow, that went really far the other way. My end condition will either be up to vertex, up to surface. The vertex will be where the 2 edges come together. And the up to surface would just be that bottom surface. So expand out next to the boss extrude, select sketch 3 again. This time we're going to be doing an extruded cut. And if I go with the 2 regions, it's going to have one. I don't think it matters leaving sketch 3 in there. Let's take those out, and I'm in the habit of deleting the previous, so I also want to take a look at the contour. So the contour is the perimeter selection. The regions are the 2 halves of the arc interior. So if we go with a through all, that should be fine. All right, so that gives me my combination. And let's see, we did that sketch from that side just to be different. You can do the same steps on this side from that face, just to show you that there's not any real difference. We're going to go line, drag off, drag back. There we go. Get that in place. And dimension-wise, I believe we can set this to be, nope, tangent concentric. All right, so it didn't want to be equal. There is a way to probably show the sketch, but for this, just adding the dimension is fine. All right, so we're going to go ahead with the extruded boss base. We can go up to vertex. I'm just using, again, the scroll wheel mouse to pick, oh, I'm still in the contours. So will it do that one? All right, so in this case, on the other one, I picked that region. So this one will go all the way around. We go back. Make sure your boxes are highlighted in blue. So when I'm giving it the end condition, I want to be at that end condition. And then we're going to expand that one out. Click on the sketch so that it is active. Extrude cut through all is fine. If it shows a preview when we do, I'm going to go ahead with the regions. If it shows the preview for the through all, it's going to go to the very end geometry, so tangent to that arc. It's not a big deal. There's no geometry over there for it to interfere with, so I'm okay with that. All right, so let's go ahead and save P1-10. And we want to do the evaluate, and our number is, we're going to the mass properties. Let's pull this in. So I got 46,036 and they got 45,438. So still feel pretty good about my numbers. So I'm not going to worry too much about the volume. I'll give it another look to see if I missed something or lost a dimension somewhere. But yeah, the mass properties on the CSWA exam may end up where the center of mass, if we had drawn this opening sketch from the front plane, these two numbers, y and z, would probably be reversed. All right, so that's the important point, important takeaway from the mass properties, and keeping the origin to its reference. All right, call this one good.